Hey guys, so in this week's video we're going to be taking a look at Energi and how some people are literally making millions of dollars every single month with Energi, masternodes and all that type of good stuff. But anyway, before we do jump into that, let's just take a very quick look at Bitcoin and where that is right now. So you may remember that in last week's video I did mention that Bitcoin was on a knife edge, and over the weekend we would see it move one way or the other. And when that did happen, I posted it, updated everybody, all you guys there on Telegram, so as soon as it broke out the bottom, let everybody know, also on Twitter and a bunch of other places. If you're not following us on Telegram, then please do. It's Moocharoo_chat. There'll be a link down below in the description of this video. And right now we can see that Bitcoin over the weekend, it's been stuck on the 0.5 Fibonacci level, stuck just above there, raised up to the level where it broke down. I did ask on the Telegram group what you would do if it rose up to 11.7 in the thoughts that it was likely to rise. And I was pretty shocked to see it was kind of 50-50 between those that wanted to buy back in at that level, which I thought was a bit worrying, and people that would rightfully sell off. Fortunately, we didn't quite make 11.7, so I don't know if any of you guys did buy back in. I certainly wouldn't. But now we do appear to be going back down. Yesterday, you may have seen this come out from Goldman Sachs, which I found quite funny. So Goldman Sachs gives investors a rare signal to buy Bitcoin. And as we scroll down, we can see major investment bank Goldman Sachs has just told investors that they should use the current dip to their advance and buy Bitcoin. The firm is placing a short-term target of 13,971. No, they are not. This here is just complete and utter garbage coming out of Goldman Sachs. What is probably more likely the truth is that Goldman would have bought up down here somewhere most likely, or all the way up to the top. And right now they're seeing exactly the same signal that we're seeing, this failed bullish pennant which is broken out to the downside, and likely we're coming down here to 9.5. So they're just trying to generate enough liquidity so that they can actually exit their extremely large position most likely. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, then you probably already know who I am and what I do. So I'm the owner of a couple of websites, Moocharoo.ninja and Satoshi's Mines, which is a shared masternode hosting platform. As you can see right here, you can earn Bitcoin every single week. So basically from all the masternodes that we own, we pay out weekly. And you can also, as members, vote every single month on which new coin will be added. And the very first month which we had that available, you guys chose Energi. And here on the website, all you need to do is click the top there. You've got the choice of masternodes or vote for new coins. So that will give you a page just like this, but for the new coins to vote on. Here we've clicked masternodes, and down here in the bottom left, you've got Energi. And Energi, we can see that in the last 60 days, it is up 82.8%, which is quite some going for just 2 months. And you can also see that there's only 38% of that Energi circulating supply actually invested into masternodes right now. And as we scroll down, we can see that the expected ROI is just 64% now. So earlier on in the year, it was up over 100%. But as more masternodes come online, that figure just goes down and down. So right now there's 728 masternodes online, so certainly growing, and the masternode cost is a whopping $71,000 to actually set up a masternode for this. So what is Energi? Well, down here we can see their mission, which is being the world's leading cryptocurrency with the unification of smart contracts, governance, and a self-funding treasury to ensure longevity and enable rapid growth. So self-funding treasury, you're going to see in just a minute how they actually fund it, which is basically, I believe, stealing from investors. So Energi actually accomplished this by doing what most masternode coins do. So they give 10% away to stakers with every single new coin which comes into existence, which you can see the block time here is 1 minute. So every single minute, a new block is added to the blockchain, and masternodes would then receive their reward. But on top of the masternodes, now masternodes here only get 40% of the currency which is getting printed into existence every single minute. And their treasury get a whopping 40% as well, equal to the masternodes. And then the Energi backbone, which is basically the core team behind it, also get the 10%. However, my personal belief is that the core team are actually getting control of 50%, not 10. And you should see what I mean right here in the roadmap. So the roadmap begins in Q3 of 2017. And you can see how they eventually brought it out, implemented masternodes here in 2018. Here we go, masternodes live in Q3. And we come down to today, this is Q2 2019, expanding marketing efforts to bring about awareness of Energi. Now, you've most likely noticed over the last 2 months a lot of videos from popular YouTubers about Energi, promoting it, or you could say shilling it. Here's some examples.
And I don't know of a single influencer out there who has not been talking about Energi.
And then Dash is a fork of Bitcoin. And then Energi paid me to do this part of the video. That's right.
Before we get to that, a lot of you have been asking for an update on Energi Coin. Energi was nice enough to sponsor this segment of the video.
Number 2, we'll talk about Energi, which is Tommy's project. So I'm really excited. Tommy, welcome to the show. Thank you for sponsoring this episode.
Now, if you are no stranger to my channel, you'll know that I have covered Energi on a couple of occasions since January of this year. And these were sponsored reviews. Now, let me just say, this is a continuation of that sponsorship.
And I don't know of a single influencer out there who has not been talking about Energi. That's another thing. It's community based. Not one cryptocurrency influencer out there has an issue talking about Energi.
Okay, so what's going to follow now is my personal view on Energi. Now, do note that this is not a paid advertisement for Energi. So this is my own personal views, and they're not entirely always going to be good and positive. So if you are currently invested in Energi, you might want to reconsider that after watching this. Don't hate this too much, because at the end of the day, this is a very truthful and honest review of just what I see and what I feel uncomfortable with the Energi framework that they've built. So over here on CoinMarketCap, we can scroll down, click on markets. You'll see these are all the exchanges which it's available on. And you've got KuCoin here, which we were attempting to buy our first masternode for Satoshi's Mines on KuCoin just a few months ago. And now they've also added in DigiFinX. And just look at the whopping volume which is being traded there. $679,000 per day in volume. So this is crazy, crazy volume. Unfortunately, it's just not true. So if we come over here, this is DigiFinX. And this is on a 15-minute chart. Let's go to an hourly, and you can see all of the trades going through here. This is the open order books. If you've ever been on Binance, you know, you normally see this flickering away with like, 1,000 different orders coming in every second. You can see here the 680 odd thousand orders per day, or dollars worth of orders per day, being filled right now, right before your eyes. It's just incredible. And if we go down to 15-minute chart, I mean, just look at how much volume is being traded here all of the time here on DigiFinX. Yep, guys, $679,000 per day. You can take that to the bank and believe it if you are completely nuts. This is, of course, complete and utter fake volume. So over here on KuCoin, it was around this point here, so maybe April, May time, we started to attempt to acquire our very first Energi masternode. And there was about maybe $20,000. Obviously now you've seen it $70,000 for a masternode right now, so it was $20,000 at the time. Unfortunately, we began investing around here. Now we only ever invest underneath the 21-day moving average, which is that orange line you can see there in the middle. If it's over that, we just believe it's just overvalued, so we're never ever going to buy a masternode at that type of level. There's no way. So we only ever buy below that, and over about 3 to 5, 6 weeks, I can't remember exactly how long it was, but I do remember how much we managed to buy. Now you need 10,000 of these coins to start a masternode, and we had acquired over a 6-week period, due to the massive volumes that you see here, we acquired 500 energy. Nowhere near the 10,000. It was ridiculous. So I went to the Telegram community and I said, guys, shall we just buy like PivX or Zcoin instead? Because this is crazy. There's just nothing being traded. We can't actually get enough coins to buy a masternode. Everyone agreed, so we took it off just before it dipped. Maybe we could have bought there, and then it went crazy. Now the reason why it went crazy is because of their roadmap. Right here, Q2 2019, expanding marketing efforts about awareness for energy. So just as you saw, what they did was they paid a bunch of YouTubers to shill energy online. And at the same time, over here on KuCoin, as I was watching this every day because we wanted to buy an energy masternode still, is over here in the order book for the buys, there was just a huge 48 Bitcoin order. At the same time, all these YouTube videos were going on, so everyone was watching a video, coming over to KuCoin, which was the only place you could really buy it at the time. They would see the massive 48 Bitcoin order there and have to bid above if they wanted to get filled. And this is the oldest trick in the book for manipulating markets. And all they did is every time the price would go up, as people would be buying all of the energy that the team is selling, they would just ratchet up that 48 Bitcoin order. And I followed this for weeks, going all the way up. And at some point they did take it off and it went down for a bit, and they put it back on. And maybe they took it off about here. I do remember they took it off, and I watched it for a couple of days just going up regardless, even though they'd taken that 48 Bitcoin order off, and then it eventually plummeted and come all the way back down. Now, I don't know 100% that 48 Bitcoin order was put on by the Energy team, but they certainly had enough motive to be the ones behind it, considering they knew their roadmap. They were the ones conducting the negotiations with the YouTubers to shill their energy coin there on the platform. So they knew all that was going on, and I can't see why anyone else would. Besides, they have a ridiculous amount of energy to sell to you guys, to all that that dumb money sat right there at the top. I don't mean that in an offensive way to you lot, but this is just what happens, guys. This is a classic pump and dump. But is there any chance of some sort of recovery here? Now, there could possibly, if it does come back down from the highs where it is now and remain above this previous low, then there's a chance it could pull higher. And if you actually just put a top on here, let's just put it in roughly, because this is kind of in the way there. So if we go right to the top of that one there with this trend line, you can see that we hit the top here, 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 and here. So 4 places. This is a definite downward trend. No doubt about that. Let's just drop it there. And yeah, so if the price was to come down and break up through this trend line, then there's a chance I would be buying around this sort of level. But it is really my belief that it's most likely to fall all the way down here somewhere to minimum these sort of levels here, or perhaps maybe the all-time lows all the way down there. Somewhere in that range is where I am personally considering buying up some energy masternodes for Satoshi's mines. And let's just say you did actually have a masternode in Energy right now. How much would you be making? And how much are the Energy team themselves making? Let's just take a quick look. Now, one of the first things you want to consider when you're looking at these things is the inflation rate of a masternode coin. Now, it's not too bad for Energy. So with 1,440 minutes per day, so there's 1,440 blocks created per minute, and 22.84 per block of energy which is being created out of thin air. This is inflation. Then we can see that we have 137% annual inflation. Now, I don't know if you know, like US dollar, British pound, whatever currency you are where you live, generally probably, you know, sort of 3-4% is relatively normal. 137% inflation is pretty high. Okay, so what does that mean? Obviously, the price is highly probably going to go down. Okay, but let's just imagine it doesn't. Let's just imagine in a fairy tale land that the price actually remains what it is now, or even goes up. Then you can see you've got your masternode. There's currently 752 masternodes right now for Energi out there, which means that you will get paid with 1,400 blocks per day. You'll get about 2 payments per day because you're in a queue waiting to be at the front to get paid. Okay, so with that, if the price did stay the same, you would be making 63.9%, or let's just say 64% per year. Now, it does cost 70 odd thousand right now for an Energi masternode, so that's about maybe 40,000 per year. Very unlikely, because the chances are the price is going to continue to fall, and as the price falls, more people will buy into the masternodes because they're cheaper, right? So there's going to be more masternodes online, which means you're going to get paid less frequently, and those ROIs are going to go down significantly more. So if you bought in at 70,000-80,000 a masternode, then I really don't see any way you're ever going to actually make that money back. Which is why at Satoshi's Mines we only ever buy in when they're undervalued, not overvalued. And down here we're asking the question, what do the Energi team take in 1 month from you, the investors? How much of your money are they taking? Well, you can see that they're getting paid every single block. So every single block which is created, they get money into their treasury fund, and also the 10%. Their core backbone team, okay, which controls the treasury. Now, you may think it's a community project, but you'll see in just a minute why it's most likely not. So they're getting near 500,000 Energi per day, and in Bitcoin terms, you're talking just over 310 Bitcoin. Not per day, per month, sorry. That's 500,000 Energi per month, and 310 worth of Bitcoin per month. And in dollar terms, that's $3.5 million to spend on their super high, exorbitant salaries for their executives and whatnot, which I'm sure they're worth, right? However, they do have a problem. Now, it's all right on paper. They've made $3.5 million worth of crypto from thin air every single month. Unfortunately, they can't actually cash that in unless there's enough people to actually hand over some Bitcoin in exchange for their stuff, which they've just created from nothing. And as we scroll down, we can see all of their market manipulation and total fake volume. So I'm sure they wish they were doing these volumes, but as we saw over here on DigiFinX and Qcoin, which I actually think does more volume than DigiFinX, I don't think that really does any at all. I feel that it's pretty clear that without paying people to shill this project on YouTube, there wouldn't be enough buyers in the market for them to sell anywhere near that volume of coins per month. And that brings us right back here to the roadmap. And if we scroll down, we can see this, the expanding marketing efforts to bring out the awareness. And this here, which Altcoin Daily thought was great.
Energi was nice enough to sponsor this segment of the video. And I know a lot of you in the comment section have told me that you're invested. They have the largest treasury in the space. Now, in terms of who controls that treasury, you do. And that's what I like about Energi. Very transparent. The treasury is decentralized, and every allocation of where that money goes every month is chosen by you or people that hold Energi that own a masternode with Energi.
That's right, your open and free democratic community, which you are in control of that treasury. So explain to me then how they've managed to map out that Energi 3.0 will be released at Q4 of 2019. And then they've got next year, they're going to do a Venezuela adoption campaign, which will begin beginning of 2020. Some other stuff push in there. Energi X public testing begins in Q2 2020. Energi mobile app there in Q2 2020. Q3 next year, so that's almost a year away. They're going to be doing Energi X tentative launch time frame. How is it possible that if the treasury funds, because it looks to me like they've already been allocated, How is it that you as community members, as masternode owners, actually really have any say whatsoever in where those treasury funds are heading? And if we take a look over here, this is masternodes online for Energi, and we scroll down, let's open up the masternodes. You can see that in the beginning, so September, this is when back on the roadmap, this is the masternodes were launched, and straight away they've come straight out the gates with 187 masternodes online already. And that just gradually grew over the time, even though down below on the price, you can see price started to go up. Most likely there was some buyers in the market at that time, but then as people stopped buying coins, the number of masternodes rose, which is weird, because how can they put masternodes online if there's nobody buying coins? So a little bit odd, and it continues to go up steadily. Now, if you've ever owned masternodes, you'll know that if you can't actually sell the tokens because there's not enough buyers out there, it's very easy to just accumulate all of those generated tokens every single month and just churn out more masternodes. And it looks to me that whoever owned the 187 or 186 there at the beginning has just been reinvesting those coins generated to create more masternodes and put more masternodes online. And then I found this really weird. So this is March 30th to April 1st, or just before April 1st. They put on just about 100 new masternodes right at the turn of the tax year. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know why they would have chosen just at the turn of the tax year. Now, there's no way you can see down there on the price that anybody bought up enough Energi to put online 100 masternodes. So this is clearly the core team, because no one could have afforded 100 masternodes at that point. And then the story continues. So a few more masternodes getting added right up into the point here. We hit the sort of May, June time. So this is the time when Energi started to pay YouTubers to get online and start shilling. And quite weirdly, as the price went up, so you can see people, the general public like you and me, are buying into Energi at this point here, and they're forcing the price up. Yet the number of masternodes coming online owned by the general public is not really moving upwards. So we've gone from back here around where we started out, say 700 there, quite a nice figure. So beginning of May, 700 masternodes online. And by the end of all this epic buying up of Energi, you guys, the general public, only have 52 or 55 masternodes there online. So hopefully from that, you're getting the picture. So they've got their governance set up with the proposals that they can put forward to what that treasury money should get spent on. However, you have to have a masternode to really have any sort of say in what that gets spent on. Unfortunately, it would appear, I would suggest, from what can see there in the charts, that those masternodes are likely owned by the Energi team themselves, which is why they can go ahead and create a roadmap like 2 years into the future of exactly what they're going to spend the money on, because they've already pre-decided what direction they're going to take the company in. And then we have the manipulation of the price in the markets, pumping it up on YouTube while having that ratcheting up massive order there, forcing the price higher. And of course also the manipulation of the volume per day as well. So it all just gets a little iffy and a little dirty for me, and I'm not entirely comfortable at all with it. But if there's enough people out there on Satoshi's minds which are happy and really want and eager to invest in Energi, then for sure, I will certainly make sure that we get you an Energi masternode at some point as the price comes down. But for me, a little risky. Okay, so let's just imagine for a minute that you were to buy a masternode with Energi right now for $70,000. It says here pounds. We'll forget that. Pretend it's dollars, okay? And so in the first year, it's currently 64% it is right now. But of course, at the beginning of the year, it was over 100%. So let's just say that you were very, very lucky and you got 55% from your masternode after 12 months. You've got yourself 38,500. And then let's just say that in the second year, you kept it going, and the price had gone down to just 21,000 for a masternode by that point, and the income also went down to just 35%. Now this is This is very good, actually, to be quite honest with you. That means that you've made 7,000 in the second year, and in the third year, it's gone down again to 17,000. So only lost a little bit in value, and the income there also gone down only 20% because, as I say, as the price goes down, there'll be more people to buy masternodes, and with more masternodes online, the frequency of your payments of your masternode rewards is going to be less. Now, for Energi, the company, they get paid out every single minute for every single block, so they're still going to be making the same. Don't you lose any sleep over them, they're going to be just fine. But you, the masternode owner, you're going to be earning less. So if you add up your total for those 3 years, you can see that you've made 49,000. And if you was to sell off your masternode there at that point for 17,000, if it was possible, then you would have made back 66,250. So the point is, what I'm trying to say is, if you were to invest right now, it's $70,000. After 3 years, you would be pretty lucky to have only lost $4,000. So guys, really, I don't know how else I can put it. Energi masternodes right now are crazy overvalued for what they actually are. I mean, Energi, really, what does it actually do that no other blockchain can do? I think Dash, Pivex, Zcoin, they're all just far better blockchains with better support from development. Yes, Energi is relatively new. However, it does seem to be a very centralized, controlled and manipulated coin, which does leave me a little bit uneasy as an investor. So I kind of want to shy away from it, but you'll draw your own conclusions and invest as you see fit. That is just my opinion, something for you guys to take on board and have a bit of a think about, if you like. So apologies if it's all a bit doom and gloomy for you, this one today, but just a video to get out there because we are getting so many questions about Energi, probably on the back of all the YouTube videos which have been released, and there's a lot of people coming into Satoshi's Minds requesting Energi. We've actually got three guys that have only invested $100 into Satoshi's Minds, and they are on me all the time asking, when can I get in on it? When can I get my Energi masternode? And to be quite honest with you, we can't do anything with $100 because the minimum investment in Satoshi's Minds is 1% into any masternode, and at $70,000 per masternode, 1% is $700. So your $100 is completely useless. You need to pick some lesser value masternodes if that's all you've got to invest. Anyway, that's it for me for today. I hope this has been somewhat entertaining, if nothing else, and maybe a little educational, I hope. And that's it, and I shall see you all in the next video.